This is James Menendez with NewsHour live from the BBC. Let's head to Hong Kong now, where the media tycoon Jimmy Lai has been sentenced to an additional 6-month jail term for his role in an unauthorised gathering in October 2019 at the height of the pro-democracy protests. He's already serving a 14-month term for 2 other rallies. Meanwhile, in another development, the former pro-democracy lawmaker Claudia Mo has been denied bail as she awaits trial because of text messages that she exchanged with international media, including the BBC. Tom Grundy is from the Hong Kong Free Press and has been telling me more about Ms Mo's case.
Claudia, of course, is an ex-lawmaker, a veteran who quit along with all the opposition last November, but she's basically on speed dial for a lot of the international media because she's known for her eloquence. And this ruling today cited her interactions with journalists from the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and yourselves, the BBC, as being a risk to national security if she were to be granted bail. Her phone, of course, was confiscated in January by the police, who've obviously been going through it when she was arrested under the security law for basically taking part in democratic primaries for the pro-democracy camp.
So in essence, the court is saying that if she were to be granted bail and given her phone back, they suspect that she would carry on contacting the international media. I mean, that's the gist of it.
Yeah, the Justice Department said that she was vocal, highly influential in both local and international platforms, that she'd maintain these close connections with foreign diplomats in different countries. This, I guess, alluding to the foreign interference clauses of this national security law. They cited her talking to Bloomberg and Sky News about Hong Kong being a lost city, and this key thing about her supporting US sanctions that were imposed last year. Later on, Fernando Cheung, he's another ex-lawmaker, he told us that this kind of thing is going to have a chilling effect. People are going to be less willing to speak up, and he feared that, Hong Kong would disappear from the headlines if people fear speaking to international journalists.
In a separate development, tell us about the media mogul Jimmy Lai. We've often reported on his court cases and sentences. He's been given another sentence. For what?
Yes, it keeps piling up for Mr. Lai. There were 10 leading pro-democracy activists in court this morning, most of them getting 18 months jail under a colonial era law for inciting or organising or partaking in an unlawful assembly. Jimmy Lai already in jail for 2 other protests in 2019. This one related to the National Day, when we saw tear gas, live rounds from police, petrol bombs from some protesters. One of the most dramatic days of the unrest, but although many saw it as a leaderless movement, Beijing, particularly when it comes to Jimmy Lai, see him pulling the strings. And it was Judge Amanda Woodcock today who was calling for a deterrent and punitive sentence, saying that it was necessary to maintain public order. And that's what he and these other 9 Democrats got. One of the 2 who got a suspended sentence told us outside of court that these sentences were unusually high. And again, this is going to be a landmark case which will advise judges in the future.
He's not a young man, Jimmy Lai. I mean, is he ever going to leave prison?
That's a good question. He runs, of course, the pro-democracy Apple Daily tabloid that is suffering at the moment, and it's unclear whether he'll be able to survive with now his assets frozen just in the last couple of weeks. But as for him seeing the light of day again, well, he's already doing multiple sentences for 2019 protests, but he's going to be in court, I think, next Monday, when we're going to see the start of his national security charges, fraud charges as well. And under the security law, there are handpicked judges. He could even be extradited to China, unlikely to have a jury, and he could face life in prison. So, yes, it's very feasible that he would be spending the rest of his life behind bars.
Tom Grundy of Hong Kong Free Press.